right, I've got a new keyboard here. This is the NSYCA WIN68 HE. Let's take a look at it. Now, if you've been shopping for a gaming keyboard lately, you've probably run into this term everywhere, which is Hall effect. So real quick, here's the difference. A normal mechanical switch, like the red switches, blue switches, brown switches that you've probably used before, actually has to physically touch a metal contact inside the switch to register a key press. Over time, the contact can wear out, and the point where the key actually clicks is fixed, so you can't change that at all. A Hall effect switch works completely differently. Instead of a physical contact, there's a tiny magnet inside the switch and a sensor underneath that reads how far the magnet has moved. This means two big things. One, there's basically nothing to wear out. And two, you can actually tell the keyboard exactly how far down you want a key pressed before it counts, sometimes down to 1/100th of a millimeter. That's what people mean when they say adjustable actuation. And it's a big reason why competitive gamers have started moving towards these keyboards. So let's actually take a look what's inside the box. You get a keyboard itself, a USB cable, a keycap and switch puller, and you get this strap that you can attach to the keyboard itself. Now, the first impressions, this thing has some weight to it. It doesn't feel like a cheap plastic board, even though the shell is plastic. Also, NSYCA lists this as a 8,000 Hertz polling rate, which basically just means how many times a second the keyboard is checking in with your PC. The higher number means the less delay between you pressing a key and your game actually seeing it. This is a 60% layout, so it's compact, but you'll notice that they keep the arrow keys, which honestly a lot of the smaller keyboards tend to skip. So this is a nice touch if you're not ready to give those up. They also tossed in a few extra switches in the box, which is really nice inclusion. Once the strap is on, you can actually pick the whole thing up like this, which is a nice little detail if you're the type who brings your keyboard to a friend's place or a LAN event. Speaking of which, let's actually weigh this thing. I've got it on the scale here, 768 grams, which works out to about 1.69 pounds. So it's light enough to carry around, but it's not flimsy. It's got a good feel in the hand. All right, let's plug this in and light it up. There we go. This is the RGB, and NSYCA gives you 14 different light effects here and 16.8 million colors. So there's a lot of room to make this look exactly how you want. Let me cycle through a few of these so you can see the change. Everything from a slow static glow to full reactive lighting that lights up as you type. And because these are PBT keycaps that are shine through, the light comes through nice and even instead of just leaking out around the edges. Now let me just type in for a second so you can hear what this actually sounds like. I will also compare this to a few other keyboards with red mechanical switches, blue mechanical switches, and one with optical linear switches, so you can hear the difference. And this is what the keyboard sounds like. This is what red mechanical switches sound like. This is what a mechanical blue switches sound like. This is what a optical mechanical linear switches sound like. And just so you can actually see the size difference, here's the Win68 HE next to a full-size keyboard. That's the trade-off you're making for all that extra desk space. You lose the numpad and a few extra keys, but look how much room that frees up for your mouse. So if you're coming from a mechanical keyboard, this is going to feel like a huge jump up. especially if you're playing anything where quick reaction matters and milliseconds matter. I can genuinely feel the difference myself coming from my optical linear switches, which up until now was what I gamed on. This has actually replaced that and become my main gaming keyboard. Now, because of my work, I still do need to keep the full-size keyboard on my desk too, just because I need that numpad for what I do day to day. But for gaming specifically, this is the one I'm reaching for now.